I get a lot of stupid questions tweeted to me, DM'd to me, emailed to me. For example, should I buy a Nintendo Switch? One of the most frequent questions that I get is, I'm going to buy a Nintendo Switch, so what game should I get? Now, this isn't a stupid question, but I do have a million videos ranking the best games for all different types of interests. But I guess I don't have a definitive guide, something that I could send to these people straight away. So that's what we're doing today. This video is sponsored by nobody, just Wolf Den Apparel. Ha! If you want to support the channel, we want to make you look good. We designed everything from the ground up to avoid these other cheap novelty merch companies. We want you to want to wear this stuff. Check it out in the link in the description or right here. Instead of a linear list of games, we're going to break down the best Switch games into 3 tiers. The first tier being the absolutely must-have games. Granted, you should be able to tell at a pretty quick glance what games are for you and what games aren't. Some games might be phenomenal, but they're not for everybody. The tier structure is meant for you to consider in order of the tier. So once you've considered all of the games in the first tier and combed through it for the ones that you actually want to play, then consider the second tier and so on. We're gonna try our best to focus on single player games. If you want a game to play with friends or you want some party games at your disposal, I have a whole video on that, so check that out. We're also gonna try our best to stay away from ports, but in some instances, the Nintendo Switch is the best way to play certain games, so sometimes it's unavoidable. The first tier consists of the heavy hitters. You've got Mario, you've got Zelda, and in the future, we'll most definitely be adding Pokemon Let's Go and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. What all of these have in common is that they're Nintendo Switch first-party titles. Now, one of you is saying, but Bob, Zelda came out on the Wii U, shut up. These are all games that have a very low chance of not being among one of your favorite games on the console. You should know about all of these by now, but Breath of the Wild is an incredibly fun sandbox you could easily dump hundreds of hours into. But hey, open world games aren't for everybody, so there's also Mario Odyssey, which is literally for everybody. Unless you have a bloodlust and you think it's for Sally's, in which case you probably have deeper issues. What's the matter? Your daddy never let you get sprinkles on your ice cream? Oh, no, Daddy? Won't. Same difference. In my opinion, it's the best 3D Mario game ever created, and it's certainly my favorite game on the Switch. Everybody has played a Mario game at least once, so you know where you're getting with this. Pokemon Let's Go isn't out at the time of this recording, but it's a remake of Pokemon Yellow, which is a favorite of my generation. And it integrates some elements from the Go mobile game, which is somewhat of a controversial decision. But hey, I don't think it's up for debate that it will probably be one of the best games on the platform. More on that here. There's also Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. There has been a Smash Bros. Game on every single Nintendo 3D console, and that game has always been in the top 10 games of that console. Hell, I would even say top 5. Not only will it be a great multiplayer game, but I'm certain that there will be a ton to do by yourself too. More on that game here. Now, if you're serious about your Nintendo Switch purchase, you should probably get all of these games. You will play them and you will enjoy your time with them. If you are more of a casual, and hey, nothing wrong with that, our time on this earth is limited, you should be able to tell which ones you'd be into. And you know what? Let's add Fortnite to tier 1, not because it's the best game ever, but because it's good and free, and there's no reason not to play it. Over on tier 2, we have all of the games that you have to play after you've already had your fun with everything in tier 1. So right off the bat, we have Celeste, which is so far my favorite game of the year. It's a very fast-paced platformer, like Super Meat Boy, but with a mid-air dash. The level design is brilliant. And in the same vein, there's also Hollow Knight, which admittedly I haven't played yet. A lot of people have been sending it to me and it looks really good, and eventually I'll get to playing it. Right up there with those, I would also toss in Splatoon 2. Its main shtick is its multiplayer, which is good, but there is a massive single-player component that has gotten a lot better if you want to shell out the extra money for the recent Octo expansion. Splatoon is Nintendo's version of a shooter. The main objective is to cover the entire map with your ink color, but you can still dunk on people in the process. Just don't be that guy who only does that. By the way, if you have this game, we'll be streaming it on Sunday with supporters and viewers. So more on that later. I'd also toss in Sonic Mania Plus. The Plus expansion just came out and adds 2 more characters and a whole new Encore mode that makes any 2 combinations of characters play like Sonic and Tails, and has you rotate between them as you lose lives. Once you're out of characters, it's game over. It adds a ton of variety to the gameplay and really revitalized the game for me. I was super stoked to be playing it again, on top of the fact that it's one of the best 2D Sonic games ever made. It only took them, what, 23 years to get it right again? Recently, I've heard a lot of talk of this here Octopath Traveler. Full disclosure, I am not an RPG guy, I am not a turn-based guy, and I am not a JRPG guy. So this game seems like my ultimate hell. But the internet has been ablaze over this game for the past week, so if you're into JRPGs, this might be worth checking out. And that's about all I've got to say about it. In the same vein, we'll toss in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, a big fat JRPG that you could easily spend over 100 hours in. Again, sounds like my hell, but hey, maybe you're a masochist. The last game in Tier 2 is Stardew Valley. Now, this is a port of a game that's been out for a little bit, but it has been unanimously decided that the Switch version of the game is the best version. Stardew Valley is a game that you are meant to just sink into your couch with. Maybe unwind in a park, play on a long car ride or a flight. It's a chill game, and being able to take it with you makes it 10 times better. It's a rehashing of the old Harvest Moon games, since those haven't been doing the job too well. I'm gonna blast through Tier 3 since there should be a ton of games in this tier, and just because I don't mention it, doesn't mean it doesn't deserve the 3rd tier treatment. Also, 3rd tier doesn't mean that it's a bad game. If it were a bad game, I wouldn't be suggesting you to buy it. It's just in order of importance. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove is another 2D retro-styled side-scroller I think everybody should play because it's great. If you're sick of Minecraft, but like a good RPG, then Dragon Quest Builders might be right up your alley. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, hello! I'm sorry. Has been brought over from the Wii U, but it's still a phenomenally unique mix of puzzle and adventure, and it's only $40. Look, we tried our best to stay away from ports, and we tried our best to stay away from multiplayer games, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is so good it transcends all of that. It doesn't make for a phenomenal single-player experience, but you should have at least one multiplayer game that anybody can just pick up and play, and everybody knows that Mario Kart 8 is that game. And Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze... God damn it, this game... Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. This has been a very long-winded way of answering the simple question, what game should I get? I hope this has answered that for you. I will also leave it in a nice, convenient chart right here on screen right now. Screenshot it for anybody who asks you something like that. Print it out, stick it on your wall, cross off the ones you have, put cute little stickers on it. So what do you guys think about this list? Is there anything on here that you haven't played yet, but you want to check out? Is there anything that I should have included? Leave it in the comments below. At me on Twitter, all the other social media garbage. Like Instagram. We need more followers on Instagram so we can get the whole swipe up to link to other stuff, so just help us out a little bit. Go over to our Insta. We got fun stuff over there. As always, Amazon links to everything that we talked about will be in the description below. That helps support our channel along with the Wolf Den apparel, which also helps support the channel. That link is also in the description if you want to look like a whole snack. And don't forget, we got new videos all the time. We got our live streams on Wednesday nights called Wolf Den Live. Join us for the live podcast. Also on Sundays, we do gameplay streams, and once a month, we play with you guys. This Sunday is that time, and we're doing Splatoon 2. We give priority to our supporters, so you can support us either on Twitch, using Twitch Prime, or you could support us here on YouTube, hitting that little sponsor button. Link is also in the description. And listen, if you want to support us and you don't want to do any of that, all you got to do is subscribe. And share this video with a friend who either just got a Nintendo Switch or wants one, and you want to tell them what games to get. Thank you very much. You have yourself a very good weekend. It's hot down here.